Listen. Listen to the heartbeat of the city. The helicopters hover in the air, pounding out the bass of wartime anthems. While the stitching and sewing of garments mimic rhythms of modern-day slaves. So when sirens sing your songs of salvation, from whom are we being saved? And when the choruses from which we cry justice are rendered silent by the raging rivers of indifference, how then will we find waves to ride around your city lines? From Boyle Heights, stretching to the west side, anchored at the port at San Pedro, wrapping around the Hollywood sign, repairing a broken halo into a yellow line railroad, transporting our stories of salvation from here to there. We're back and forth until the dizziness of our scattered consciousness can no longer hide beneath the sounds of this cacophonous existence, LA. Your songs have been sung by shattered souls. While refrains of white lines cough out broken, smog-filled notes, your lungs expand to reverberate into traffic-jammed echoes, soaring along the highways of hope, searching desperately for singers to bring forth hymns and hers of your once immortal songs, for poets to stitch together forgotten lyrics of your lost souls, and for painters to paint delicate details of the devils that you dance with. For you, LA, are the most beautiful creature they have ever danced with. And it was here, at the edge of this Pacific Ocean, where they forced you to bear a whole city from your womb, cradling the only thing you have left, your children here, where our questions rise to the sky, wondering why we were a whole city full of angels, born with only one wing, and while our attempts at flying in April of '92 result in songs of uprising being written off as nothing but brutish violence, and while our stories of righteous struggle that enter through downtown skyscrapers and exit through the pockets of wealthy politicians are being sold off in silence, and while finding another wing in a city full of angels is a lot more difficult than you might expect, and while broken feathers and empty bottles of whiskey lay barren on Skid Row street-side beds, LA, your children have unwittingly become your enemies. And yet you speak to us in the mysteries of our existence. And we, your single wing runners, in our selfish attempts at flying, are made deaf to the whisper of your secrets. And if we would just listen, we would hear them in the tears of your graffiti-covered river, and the laughter of your silent sisters, and the freedom of your imprisoned brothers, LA. You've tried to teach us your song from the beginning. We just never bothered to listen. And if we would just listen, we would hear you sing us this lullaby. My children, each of you are angels born with only one wing, and only by embracing each other will you learn how to fly.